Let's walk through the electronic scope of appointment tool. First things first, go to our website. Then you'll have to sign in and go to the dashboard. On that screen, you're going to see electronic scope of appointment. Press that, and now you'll see these two circles. So the first part is just creating a scope of appointment electronically. The second part is just a place to store that all in one place. So let's start here. Create SOA. Now that we're in the tool, you can access our quoting tools along the side, but here's what we're after: eSOA and the document locker. So when you're ready to do a scope, you'll start a new document. And before we just jump right in and give it a name, I would recommend naming this last name, then first, then a date. That's going to make it easier to sort through these later as you get a bunch of them. So if you have John Doe and Jane Doe, for example, they're going to be next to each other since you named them according to their last name. So let's call this Doe, John, 2019, and we'll use 10 for the month. You can do this however you want, but this is what I'm recommending. Now we'll hit save and continue. And every time you come back here, you'll see all these disclaimers, and you'll have to press I agree, and then continue. And just to decrease the clutter, I'm going to click on this navigation item. And you'll notice there are two scenarios here. Are you in the same physical location as your client or not? So let's run through both of these. The first one, we're going to say yes, the client is physically present. So rather than email them a link, we're going to just have them provide some identifying info. So we'll use applicant provides identifying info. Now, just like with any SOA, you'll have to fill in what it is you are planning to talk about. Let's just say Part D and MA, hospital indemnity. So now we're going to put in your client's name, John Doe. Then for security purposes, he'll have to give his mother's maiden name. We'll say Jones, and the last four of his social, city, state, zip. We'll click Apply e-signature. And now while you do this screen, since it is the client that's supposed to be signing this, you'll want to, at a minimum, just show them your screen so they can see what's going on. If you want to take it a little farther, you could actually let them click the button for you, but you can probably get away with saying, hey, is it okay with you if I click this button? So they're going to say yes, you'll sign and continue. Now is the agent part. So you'll fill in your name, then your client's name, and the method of contact. So let's just say this client was a walk-in. And we discussed lasso and WellCare. Okay. Then you can preview the form if you like, or just hit continue. Now it's asking you as the agent to sign, so we'll apply e-signature and press sign. Okay, so let's skip this part for now. We'll scroll down, and there's a document preview. You can preview what it will look like if you print this. Okay, and this is the file that if anybody asks for it, that's what you would give them. Let's go ahead and save this to our library. And when I say library, this is the document locker. So this is just a place to store all the SOA files you do. Now, I've created a folder, and you can do that right here. And I'm suggesting you do these by year so that next year all your 2019 files are in a folder with the other 2019 files. You can do this any way you like. This is what I recommend. Okay, so to move that into that folder, we click the box next to it and then press move. Click on 2019 and move it. So now if we click in the 2019 folder, there it is. And I highly recommend you download a copy. Even though it's stored here, you can't go wrong just having a copy of this on your own computer rather than in the cloud. So download a copy, that's a PDF file, and you're done. So that's the scope if your client's present. Now let's try it if your client is not present. So we're going to create a new one, start the document just like we did before, and again, last name first, the date, and save and continue. I agree. And this time we are not in the same physical location. So when you click no, this gets grayed out, so you can't click that. Instead, we have to do the email signature link. So put in your client's email address, not your own, but your client's, and when you press continue, it emails your client asking them for the signature. Now let's jump over and see what your client would see. So your client is going to get a code, and they need to copy it or write it down, and then they're going to press click here to e-sign your document. When they do that, it asks for the code, which they can paste or type into the field, and verify and continue. They too will have to read through the statement of consent and press I agree. So now they are going to fill out what it is they would like to talk about. And they'll fill in their own name, Jane Doe, apply e-signature. So now they're going to hit sign and complete. That's all they have to do. They've completed their half of the scope, and now it goes back to you. So on your end, when you go back to your documents, if they haven't signed it yet, it's going to say that it's pending, that it's waiting their signature. But since we just signed, it says awaiting producer data, meaning you as the agent have to sign. So you'll click on the name of that file, and chances are you might have several of these all here in a list. But we'll click on Jane, and it shows us that she has signed the document, but we have to sign it still. So I'll hit continue, fill out my name as the agent, and she phoned in for a quote. And we discussed Lasso MSA and the Lasso HIT plan. Okay, so that's all we have to do is hit continue. Now we're ready to sign. So I apply e-signature and sign. So that document's complete. Again, there's a preview if you care to look, and we'll save it to the library. And once again, I want to move that into the 2019 folder, so I click Move, 2019, move again. And again, download a copy as a PDF to your own computer, and if you want to preview it, you can. Jane Doe's initials, her signature, electronic signature, your info, your signature. Okay, so that is it. I think it's pretty simple, but as always, if you have any questions, let us know. We're happy to help. Thanks for watching.